With the warm weather of the changing season come the blossoming of beautiful flowers, along with our emergence from social hibernation, which means if you're itching to entertain, the beauty of spring blooms is all you need to elevate any gathering.
Yeah, and here with a floral fantasy luncheon to celebrate the Easter long weekend is the founder of Entertainment Events and Catering, Sebastien Centner. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Great to be here.
We already love everything we see, so we can't wait to dive in.
You're here with a floral fantasy luncheon to celebrate the spring season. So tell us why this sort of theme, it hits you right in the heart, doesn't it?
It's perfect, but I'm usually a very monochromatic. Like I like one color with a pop, whatever else. But this time of year, we're surrounded by so many colors that are popping up. You've got to really lean into it and take advantage. We have so much at our disposal. Let's use it.
All right. So what are the floral spring trends that we're seeing right now?
So we're seeing a lot of sort of a wildflower, they sometimes call it English garden trend, which again goes completely against what I'm used to, of sort of more structure and everything, which is great. We're seeing bold colors. We're seeing sort of a lot of different textures as well and everything. So it's really just have some fun with it this season, and in different ways. How do you incorporate it both in your food and your displays, etc.?
Oh my God, now if you don't want to use straight up flowers as table decor, you brought a new take on a floral centerpiece. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so centerpieces are generally great if you're doing a seated luncheon or just to sort of have that spot of color in the room. So what we did here is we created a centerpiece, but we did it using a cake stand. So there's different levels, and it's really easy to do. And what we've done is, you'll see, if you don't have a cake stand, no worries. You do a glass, and then you put a plate on top, a glass, a plate. 100%. So you don't have to go out and buy new stuff, etc. And what we do to keep the florals together is we've got a little thing called foam here, floral foam.
Okay, wait. For a lot of people might not know what this is. So what is flower foam?
Okay, so flower foam, so very lucky, our good friends at Blooms Plus sent all these flowers and they sent us a little bit of foam.
Okay.
So basically the foam is basically a porous material. It absorbs the water, so it keeps the stems nice and moist. Gotcha. But you can just put everything into it and it keeps it in place. So it's very simple to get. You can get it at most florist stocks, or frankly, you can order it online. It's super easy to get. Okay,
and what flowers would you recommend for this? Because you got a lot of beautiful blooms on the table.
Yeah, it depends on so you adapt your florals. Obviously, color-wise, you can use anything this season. But what I've done here is I've used bigger pieces first. So what we do is it fills it in, because you do want to cover that foam a little bit, and then use the smaller ones just to fill in the smaller spots and give it a little bit of depth.
Okay. Wow. Another simple DIY that you recommend is creating your own vases or vases, depending on.
I know. Is it vases, vases? What is it?
Potato, potato.
Potato,
doesn't matter.
And I'm going to start working on one of these.
Yes,
thank you for about it.
So what we've done here is basically we've taken vases. I tend to get all these vases around the house of all different mixed types that people have brought me flowers for dinner parties, etc. So what we've done is find a fun way to reuse them. So we did basically is took these florals, doing exactly, that's perfect, Jess.
I already like it. You're not even
Then you can use the brush and you can brush around, but it's to give lots of color to it. You might have to use the brush a little bit, and it does.
Oh, I kind of like the.
Actually, I kind of like that. It's different.
I love that.
Actually, that's really good. Leave that.
I actually really like it just as is.
That's beautiful.
Okay, I'm gonna do a little more. Sorry.
Okay. While she creates her beautiful vase, what flowers would you recommend for a vase like this?
Okay, so it's interesting. When you're using, first of all, lots of color, great. Try and match the things with pastels, etc. But one of the things about when you're using vases and florals, you kind of have to match them a little bit. So if you look at this floral arrangement, for example, I've used bigger florals and stuff because it's low to the ground, so it's very easy to balance it. When you get into taller, thinner vases, you want to use slightly thinner flowers, etc. And then eventually, if you're in a bud vase, you're just using small ones because you want to make sure they're not tippy and they're well balanced.
All right, so Sebastien, are there other unique vessels that we can use to display our flowers?
Yeah, 100%. Like, I'm all about using stuff you have around the house, or you can go to a dollar store, get something really inexpensive, but also think about mason jars. Think about like old perfume bottles. Think about even like soda pop bottles if they're clear. If you have something around, this is a great way to make it something fun, and you can use it for other things afterwards.
Exactly.
Smart.
So talk to us about the place setting you've brought.
So of course, we did all this beautiful floral. We talked about a floral luncheon. We could not do something if we didn't have the same thing with our place settings. And what we've done here basically is we've layered colors. So I contacted event rental company Chairman Mills, and I asked them to actually send me a few things. And that's a great way to also keep it inexpensive, so that you're not buying all new. You're either using an accent piece or maybe you're renting. And all I've done is I've layered the same idea. I've touched in a little bit of floral, so it ties into everything else that we're doing. And in this case, I found a very inexpensive napkin online that I could just add to it. And most of the other stuff I have in my house.
I love that. Looks beautiful. All right, so Sebastien, it's not a party unless there's a beverage station. At least if I'm doing the party. And how do you incorporate florals into that?
Okay, so it is fun. This is such a fun segment because you get to be so imaginative. And when it came to this idea, what we did was we created spheres that have the florals in them. So the nice thing again is that we took floral stems that, you know, for example, I've had these for a couple of days. I bought them a few days ago. And as they start to get to their end of life, we cut the tops off, put them into a balloon, and basically fill it with water and freeze it. And whether it's the actual full bulb or whether it's just the petals, you're going to get this bright, vibrant color. And it doesn't have to be edible florals because we're not putting
Right.
This is just for cooling.
That is brilliant to use those flowers just before they go south on you. That's brilliant.
So walk us through how you make them, and also, are there certain flowers that work better than other flowers?
Not really. You can use pretty much, I mean, I would avoid anything that has like a thorn on it. That's not going to work with a water balloon.
Gotcha.
But generally speaking, anything will work, and because it's not edible, just use anything. And if it breaks up on you, if it ends up being petals, no big deal. You get this explosion of petals. Super simple. If you can make a water balloon, you can make these.
This one right
This
here?
is it.
I'm so excited.
So basically, I put the stems in and the florals in. I put in the water balloon. I basically tied it, left it overnight. 24 hours usually you should do it.
Okay.
And then basically, I'm just going to give it a little cut. And there you go.
Sebastien, that's a brilliant idea. I love that.
Yeah, so it's super, super, just once they're full and frozen, don't throw them at each other.
Okay, fair enough.
Keep the kids away from them.
Now, to complement the drinks, you've brought some stunning spring dishes. Tell us about these.
So, of course, we couldn't arrive for a floral luncheon without some food. So we incorporated, again, the floral colors as well as some edible flowers into 2 items. A crudité tray that has all these amazing colors. We even used a little bit of beet to make the dipping sauce, a nice dip of a dark, dark purple.
Is this radish?
Those are radishes. There's
so
rainbow
beautiful.
radishes, a little bit of... I've never seen anybody that excited about radishes before, but I love it.
Oh my God, they're like
And then
little...
we also did rice paper rolls. So I love rice paper rolls for spring.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And rice paper rolls are very simple to make. We see them, you know, all over the place. But what we did is we actually used some edible flowers in them first. So you just rolled them up. It just gives that little touch of spring. And I thought it was something nice and different.
Can I be honest with you? They're so pretty, I dare not eat them.
You know what?
They look so
They're
beautiful.
too pretty to eat?
Okay, you gonna do it? It looks so pretty.
The sauce is a spicy, sweet sauce. So if you like spice, great. If not, they're good natural as well.
Okay, so you like to send your guests off with party favors. So what have you brought for us today, Sebastien?
So we brought a little gift, a parting gift. Now, just so everyone knows, you don't have to do it. It's not a hard, fast rule. You have to give people something as they're leaving. We like to do it if it suits the environment, and what a perfect time to do it in spring when we have all these flowers. So we've created the little individual bouquets so that we can send everybody home with a nice little bouquet and craft paper, and then you can remember the party.
These are so, oh my God.
Isn't that lovely?
These are so beautiful. Oh my gosh, Sebastien, thank you so much for these great ideas.
My pleasure.
And happy long weekend.
Happy spring.
Hey there, what did you think? Drop your comments below and join the conversation. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you can find more on everything from food and fashion to pop culture and current events. See you soon.